This is the plaintiff, Deborah O'Connell. She says she hired the defendant to help her out of a legal jam, obtaining a certificate of occupancy so she could sell her house. She's come to find out the defendant's a crook who charged her 4 times the amount she should have, never took her calls once she was paid in full, and is nothing more than a fraud. She's going to get her money back here and now when she exposes the defendant and is suing for the $4,635 she's owed. This is the defendant, Vivian. She says she did plenty of work clearing the legal junctions the plaintiff had on her property. She went to the Board of Appeals, won the case for her, and did everything she was hired to do. The plaintiff thinks she can get her services for free, but she has proof she did the work, and this will be a no-brainer. She's accused of doing a big nothing.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Deborah O'Connell?
Yes.
You are suing Vivian. You've asked us not to mention your last name and her company, which is an expediting company,
Yes,
correct? You've asked us not to mention the name of the company, and we'll respect that, for $4,635 that you have paid her to date because, according to you, she did not earn any of that. Okay. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on.
Well, first I wanted to clarify something. I didn't say that she didn't earn any of that.
Okay.
She did do some work.
Okay.
She just didn't do all of the work, and she overcharged me.
How much in total did you pay her?
I paid her $6,590.
Okay. And so what you're suing for is less than what you paid her because that's the part you think she earned.
She overcharged me.
Right. So the $4,635 is for what you think you overpaid her. Okay,
Correct.
so talk to me. Tell me what happened.
Okay. I put my house on the market to prepare to sell it in April of 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I had a deck and a fence put on my property. I actually had an existing deck. I just replaced it and made it larger in 2007 and placed a fence.
Did you permit that work?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I had to get the deck placed on the CO in order to sell it.
Yeah, you
So-
didn't think about that in 2007, right?
Correct.
Right. And so
I
now you got to
actually
sell it. Now the city wants you to fix what you didn't do right. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
My real estate attorney, who was representing me, is also a friend of mine. He recommended Vivian.
Okay. To sort of navigate the city and county waters and get your thing
The
permitted.
purpose is that you have to go down to the town, you show them the pictures, she obtains a variance, and so forth, and her fee was $1,200 for that. You make multiple 3 or 4 visits. It was easier for me. She knew the ins and outs.
Right.
I didn't.
That's what we call in the business an expediter.
Correct.
Somebody who is familiar with City Hall, knows how to get things done, and you don't have to go through the turmoil of fixing what it is that you botched in 2007 by doing unpermitted construction. All right. So you hire her, and do you have a contract with her?
Yes.
That spells out. Can I see the contract?
I don't have a contract. She never gave it to me.
So then no is the answer to my question. You
But
don't
I
have a written
signed a contract.
You don't
I
have
did.
a written.
She has the contract. I never got a copy
Oh, there is a
of
written
it.
one. You signed one,
Yes.
but she has it. Do you have a contract?
There was no written contract
There was no
whatsoever.
written contract. How is there a $6,000 job with no written contract? Is anybody minding the store here?
There was a contract.
Well, then why don't you have a copy of it?
Because it didn't have a carbon, and I did not have a printer.
Why wouldn't
but
you say to yourself, I need a copy of the contract
I
that I
did.
signed?
I did say that to her. She promised to email it to me when she got home.
And did that happen?
No.
Now why do you do business with someone to the tune of $6,000 and not have a contract?
We just don't normally give contracts.
She's lying when she says that she signed a
absolutely
contract.
Positively
Okay.
is lying. She
So
has a
now let's
contract.
move on from the contract phase. All right, now it's May. You hire her in May.
Yes.
And she's supposed to solve your problem on this double. It's a double deck, right? It's
Yes.
okay.
It's 2 stories.
2-story deck.
Yes.
So just do you have a picture?
I don't.
Do you have a picture?
Yes, I do.
May I see it? So is there a deck on the bottom and a deck on the top?
Correct.
Right. All right. So what happens?
Well, everything's going along very well. Have no problems so far. I give her the money. She has to, on May 10th, she goes to the town and pays the penalty fees, an application fee, and sign fees. We get a hearing for June 23rd.
What's the hearing for if they already determine what your penalties are? The hearing is
The
for the
variance.
variance? And the penalties are based on what?
Based on the photos that she showed them and the size
It has
of
nothing
the
to do with
deck.
how long it's been in violation or anything?
No.
based on, what was the issue, that it was
No,
too
it was-
big? She built it too big?
Her deck was not, it wasn't the point of it being too big. It was encroaching on setbacks.
Okay,
Okay.
so-
And so was a fence, and so was a
It could be
shed.
that big, it just has to be closer to her
There
house. It was
more-
encroaching on the
There was more
setback.
items than a deck.
What else was wrong?
Okay, there was a shed on the property that encroached in a second front yard, and there was a 6-foot fence that also encroached on the second front
So
yard.
3
which-
encroachments, a deck, the 6-foot fence, and the
Well,
shed.
4. There was 4, actually.
Because they
there
counted the two
They count the decks. There's
Okay.
like 3
All
decks
right,
there.
so far everything's going good, and as far as you know, what work has she done? Gets the hearing date.
Yeah, she goes to the hearing. That was June 29th. We get an approval. I passed that. I have the letter
She
for
goes to the
that.
hearing, she argues for you at the hearing?
Yes.
Okay, so that gets approved, so you don't
Yes.
have to tear down everything.
No.
Right, and then what happens? When does it go south here? When does everything go wrong?
When I pay her the second half,
Okay, and you paid her the
do you
second
want-
half when?
on June 29th. I have
Okay.
the check.
And how
here.
does it go wrong?
She disappeared. The whole month of July, towards the end, I'm getting nervous. I'm calling her daily. No return phone calls. I called the
And you've
attorney
left how many messages for her?
almost daily. I'd say at least 20 or more.
Wow, and unreturned?
Nothing. My attorney, who was her friend, also called on my behalf 4 or 5 times. Never heard from her.
He didn't hear from her, okay.
No, I have a letter that he,
Yeah, can I see that?
yes.
Go on.
On August 23rd, I went to her house. I'm knocking on the door. I saw her peek out the window. Nobody's answering the door. I know they're home. So I go straight to small claims court directly from her home because
Okay.
now I know something is really, really wrong.
Okay, what's the deal? I mean, when somebody's calling you every single day,
First-
how do you ignore them?
She didn't call me every single day.
How many times did she
I
call
could
you?
tell you, I didn't even get a call from her.
In
No.
all of July
No.
and all of August, are you
No.
saying you didn't get a single
The
call
only
from
time
her?
I saw her is
I didn't ask when you saw her. Are you
No.
saying that you never
No,
got a
I didn't
single
get a
call
call
from her?
from-
Do
no,
you
I
have your
didn't get
phone
a call.
records?
No,
I
That
don't
would
get a
be
call.
awesome right now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, would be.
Okay. Well, how about her emails? Because I see her emails to you
I
where she
returned
says,
every single email.
I can't believe how many times I've left you messages and you're not calling me
And
back.
I
Kindly call me
returned
back.
every single email from her.
Why would she file the if you're calling her back and she's not even trying to reach you and things are going as progressed, why did she go file a small claims case?
I was consistently, if she could recall, was doing this hearing and doing all this stuff. All of a sudden, she changed her mind. She's not selling this house anymore. She took it off the listing now. Okay, so now we weren't in a rush. So everything, she needed compliance work on the deck, 2 poles and a girder that needed to be put on the deck. Okay, I
So
can
in
show
other
you
words,
plans.
the city said, okay,
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't have to tear it
This
down,
is-
but we're going to insist that you fortify it in these ways in order to bring it into compliance.
Right. I arranged an inspection for her. They were out there 9/14. Okay.
Okay,
She
well, hold on. Slow
failed.
your roll, because by 9:14, she's already sent you emails saying, are you not listening to me? You're
Well,
fired.
8:27, I wasn't fired.
In this email dated September 2nd, I have called you in excess of 20 times in the last month, have gone to your home office on 2 separate occasions, yet I still have no documentation of proof of payment to the town.
Correct. That was
You
September
promised to
2nd.
finally email it to me, and as of this writing, I have not received any such accounting. Your behavior is unprofessional and criminal, and I have implemented a civil action against you by that because she's already filed on August 23rd. I mean, I think it's pretty clear you're fired by September 2nd, don't you think?
Well, August 23rd doesn't mean I got it August 23rd either.
Okay, so August 27th, don't you think is pretty clear? So why is it you're scheduling an inspection on the 14th?
Because that's what she asked me. She came to my house and she got the inspection date. She failed again. She failed the inspection. That's the only thing left to do before she gets a CO, is get approved for the inspection.
Well, how come, though? Because the contractor who built the girder,
Well, that's, yeah, that, I don't know. I was,
because you weren't out there. All right. Now, did you ever get from her what it was you were asking for, which was this detailed accounting?
I got 0. I got nothing from her.
So
I didn't even get
Tell
those
me
back.
the work that you, once you decided I'm not going to have her work for me anymore, what is the work that you have ended up doing? That's what I want to know.
Okay. I had to go to the town hall on numerous occasions
To do what?
Obtain. I didn't know what she had, so I had to find out what she actually did after the variance, if there was anything done at all. The town supplied me these documents. Can I get back to the emails?
No. I want you to understand what we have. We have a contracts case, okay? And you paid her in full, and you're saying she didn't do the full job. So I have one task here. I have to first figure out what you're saying you had to do that she didn't finish. Because I've already heard what she says she didn't finish. She says the only thing left was for her to pass inspection. The city had already said, lady, you got to do A, B, C, and then you're golden. And so when she says that, she's saying, don't give her back any of my fee. You are saying, Judge, I want all this money back and she only earned this part of her fee, and you're the one with the burden of proving your case, so I need you to specifically tell me what she didn't do that has now been left in your hands.
The inspection.
That's it, right? Okay. Now, let me get to the emails that you want to talk about, okay? Because I'm very disturbed over the tone of these emails. There's a series of frustrated emails from her saying, I've called you 20 times and you're not calling me back. I have no documentation to proof of payment to the town. And justifiably, I want an accounting. She doesn't get a response from you until September 8th. Sorry to hear about your dilemma with your son and his 16-year-old pregnant girlfriend. What a dilemma. I know you will help with social services and all that is needed. What could he be thinking getting an underage girl pregnant? Why would you say that to her? Why would you bring something so personal up?
Well,
Had she confided in you and told you something
No,
personal?
no, no. There's more than that.
Can I just ask you to answer
more than
my
that
question?
with this.
Had she confided in you and told you this personal information?
Fine.
And so you decided, in your professional wisdom, that it would be good to have this little sarcastic exchange in the email?
Okay.
Thought that
it
would
was
be
going both
appropriate?
ways, though, Judge, if you read
Oh,
all
I
the
know.
emails. It was
First
going
off,
both
right
ways.
now I'm just asking you.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. If you call the person you hired to do a job over and over and over, and they don't return your call, can you just terminate the contract?
Absolutely. Yep, that's abandonment.
Abandonment of the contract.
Yes.
You buying it?
Yes, I am. Yep.
How many times?
Well, I would try 3 times and
Three. It's the 3 strikes law.
Yes.
Got your point. What do you think?
I don't think you can prove you called, so you'd have to have it in writing. You'd have to send them some kind of notice in writing on that contract.
Well, if you're like Mel Gibson's girlfriend, you can just tape it, right?
Right.
Exactly. Going inside the courtroom.
You thought this would be
No,
professional?
no, no, I don't actually. I
Okay,
don't.
you started it. And then what happens? Here's your response. I appreciate your concern for my son and his 17-year-old girlfriend, considering he is also 17 years old. I expect they will require a great deal of assistance from me and my husband and my ex-husband, and we all plan to come together to provide that support. They will either step up or we will raise the twins ourselves. As for what he was thinking, I can only surmise he wasn't at all, just as your daughter must not have been when she overdosed and unfortunately passed away. Indeed, we all have our crosses to bear. I'm very sorry
It's okay.
for this, okay? But I'm so perplexed by how people could be this cruel to each other. Did she trust you and somehow confide in you something as personal and devastating as that? And then you used it in an email to her?
I did. I did do that.
This cannot be your most shining moment.
No, I'm not
This
proud.
is a little bit like somebody slapping you and you taking an AK-47 assault rifle and shooting them in the face. Apologize.
I do apologize, sincerely.
I mean, seriously.
No,
Do you understand how
sincerely.
much worse this was? The total money that you were paid was $65.90, like she says? Okay.
Can I just put one thing in before we close
Yep.
the case? Okay. The only difference that happened from the beginning to the end of this case, Judge, is the house was for sale. We had a buyer. Rush, rush, rush. Now we're not selling. She says she has 2 years to get the building permit.
I heard that. I heard now I have 2 years. That's why I haven't. We're done. We're done, ladies. It's very simple. Here's what happened. You weren't responsive to a client. The client got frustrated. The client fired you. The client's going to finish the job now herself. The question is, what was left to do? The last thing left is for you to hire a contractor, spend the money to bring it into compliance, and call the city out to come out.
Your
That's
Honor.
the last things left. And it only hasn't happened because there's no rush anymore because you have
No,
2 years,
Your
like you
Honor.
said. No, we're done. So you have 2 years. So on your lawsuit against her, 0, because there is really no work left for her to do other than the only thing left for you to get the CO is to physically get the contractor to do the work and then call the city, to do the inspection. Actually, you know what? I'm going to reverse myself on that. I am going to allow you an allowance for the fact that she's not going to monitor that, which is part of her fee. So I'm going to order her to return $200 of it. Good luck, ladies.
Well, here she is the defendant coming out here. Step on in here. How do you feel coming out of the courtroom after all this?
I'm okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The $200 is. I did the job. I finished the job. She's holding it up. She's no longer selling the house. Good luck to her. That's
You were
all
a
I
little
can
bit
say.
hard to reach, though.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you. All right, so step on in here. You satisfied how the verdict comes out for you?
Absolutely not. I guess it just pays to be a liar. Every single word that woman said in there was a lie. Every word.
Why did it have to get so personal?
You know what? If you're going to dish it out, you better be able to take it. That's it. What can you do? Over.
Send it over to Harvey.
Okay, in a lot of these contracts, there's an implied duty to act in good faith. And part of that means you have to communicate with the other party. Even though all of that isn't written out in the contract, there's an implied obligation that you treat the other person decently. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.